Come, let us explore how vegan living is the next compassionate revolution. Hey Jay, what do you say? Hey Shivi, please recite with me. Let's, as we recite these triplets and these couplets, let's physically relax as best we can. In late-stage capitalism, there are many who have a vested interest in keeping us locked in the frenzy of various iterations of the kill or be killed mindset. Come, let us wax subversive, for although the United Nations explained it would take $6 billion to end world hunger, compassion is not an exclusive club with an entry fee or a 2-drink minimum. In fact, some of the most compassionate things we could do merely involve our consumer choices. 50% of the Buddha's Eightfold Path is comprised of love's kindness of intention, kindness of communication, kindness of conduct, and kindness of commerce. So, quick edit opportunity. What would a live stream be without an edit? Together, there is nothing kind about using our consumer choices to coerce an underpaid worker, to exploit, no less slaughter living beings because we want a snack. On average, worldwide, every day, a vast ocean of sentient beings are murdered. More than 900,000 cows, 1,400,000 goats, 1,700,000 sheep, 3,800,000 pigs, 12 million ducks, 202 million chickens, and hundreds of millions of fish, each of them yearning to live and not die, just like us. Through the convenience of a cruelty-free diet, we get to exercise greater compassion to the environment, to non-human animals. And if we consume a whole food vegan diet to this very body which supports our meditation. And even though we could watch the video Dominion and 101 other videos that pull at our heartstrings, remember, we are already wired to love. Every time we put a rabbit and an apple in a playpen, the human child always pets the rabbit and eats the apple. We are natural-born herbivores. It is only our amygdala that makes us aggressive. And the more we authentically practice mindfulness and meditation, even as little as once every 12 hours or so, the more we'll calm the anxiety and aggression of our survival-oriented amygdala and stimulate the empathy of our anterior cingulate gyrus. This is why the Buddha taught mindfulness and meditation. Now, what I'd like to do, quick like a buddy, is metaphorically reach for an image of the amygdala. Let's hit insert pictures, this device, pictures. Let's go to N. Let's go to neuroscience. Let's go to Mr. Amygdala. Let's click, what am I gonna click? Wrap text behind text. Okay. Okay, let's see if this fits all right. Almost. All right, there it is. Excellent. And now let's do the same over here. Let's hit insert, pictures, this device. Let's find anterior cingulate gyrus. Let's click wrap text. Well, all right. Ote Pinky. Having concluded our opening lesson, let's shift gears. It is Rey Skywalker's Sunday evening. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've harnessed my autistic special interests and my ADHD hyperfixation to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. And I would like very much to meditate with you after once again asking, how are Shivi and Jay doing? Let me know in the chat window. Inquiring minds want to know. Please recite with me. Whatever comes, may all beings let it come. Whatever stays, may all beings let it stay. Whatever goes, may all beings let it go. Let us practice the essence of mindfulness by silently and mentally reciting the verb noticing during each inhalation. Similarly, let us practice the essence of meditation by silently and mentally reciting the verb relaxing during each exhalation. Good to hear, Jay. Right back at you, Shivi. Welcome to the vast expanse of the diamond-like mind. Composed by Prahe Vajra, translated from the Tibetan by Chokyo Nomkai Norbu, translated from the Italian by Adriano Clemente, adapted and amplified by this MOOC right here. Let's recite. This vast expanse of our diamond-strong mind is the ever-good and immense ultimate dimension of phenomena. This pure, complete path that liberates all does not arise, cease, or actively analyze anything. Let's see if this fits. This vast expanse of our diamond-strong mind is the ever-good and immense ultimate dimension of phenomena. In other words, our ability to relax and release in harmony with our exhalation. This pure, complete path that liberates all does not arise, cease, or actively analyze anything. Yes, as we breathe in, we might notice interdependence. But as we relax into our exhalation, it feels non-graspable. Yes, as we breathe in, we might notice impermanence. But as we relax into our exhalation, it can feel non-graspable. Yes, we might be very intelligent and capable of analysis. But whenever we catch ourselves analyzing during our in-breath, we relax during our exhalation, and it is released. This together, this vast expanse of our diamond-strong mind is the ever-good and immense ultimate dimension of phenomena. This pure, complete path that liberates all does not arise, cease, or actively analyze anything. This vast expanse of our diamond-strong mind is the ever-good and immense ultimate dimension of phenomena. This pure, complete path that liberates all does not arise, cease, or actively analyze anything. This vast expanse of our diamond-strong mind is the ever-good and immense ultimate dimension of phenomena. This pure, complete path that liberates all does not arise, cease, or actively analyze anything. This vast expanse of our diamond-strong mind is the ever-good and immense ultimate dimension of phenomena. This pure, complete path that liberates all does not arise, cease, or actively analyze anything. Remember that we are wired during each inhalation to notice in a very special manner, to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly, which of course is the opposite of concentration. I'll be right back. Thank you for your patience. Now, what I want to do right now is check my original translation. Okay, here we go. Being loving, our anterior cingulate gyrus, and thus thoroughly accomplished. It does not strive to practice great compassion. Being great, the profound qualities of greatness need not be praised. Thank you for your patience. Being great, compassion's profound qualities of greatness need not be praised. Here's an explanation for you. There's a famous text from India known as Buricharya Vatara, and in multiple places in the text, it praises love. And people think that if they praise love enough, they'll catch it, like the common cold, like kissing a pretty person with the sniffles. But the masters of meditation have always taught that by simply training authentically in mindfulness and meditation, the stimulation of the anterior cingulate gyrus, it becomes an inevitability. So it's only the people who squander their time and energy in focus and analysis who experience a deficiency of empathy. Now, having empathy does not mean you will not experience the full spectrum of human emotions, from the sublime to the dastardly. But what it does mean is that when push comes to shove, we cannot help but be kind. Let's continue. Being loving, our anterior cingulate gyrus, is being loving. Our anterior cingulate gyrus is thoroughly accomplished. It does not strive to practice great compassion because it's effortless. Being great, Compassion's profound qualities of greatness need not be praised. Being loving, our anterior cingulate gyrus is thoroughly accomplished. It does not strive to practice great compassion. Being great, compassion's profound qualities of greatness need not be praised. Being loving, our anterior cingulate gyrus is thoroughly accomplished. Let's rephrase this because we're not going to use Tibetan grammar. So 1 moment, if you please. Our anterior cingulate gyrus is thoroughly accomplished at being loving. It therefore does not strive to practice great compassion, to practice the great compassion. Our anterior cingulate gyrus is thoroughly accomplished at being loving. It therefore does not strive to practice the great compassion that is spontaneous and uncontrived. Our anterior cingulate gyrus is thoroughly accomplished at being loving, and therefore has no need to strive to practice the great compassion that is spontaneous and uncontrived. Being great, compassion's profound qualities of greatness need not be praised. Hello, Victor. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for your kind wishes. Yes, during each inhalation, thanks to our sympathetic nervous system, we are wired to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. But the question remains, what have we evolved to notice? We have evolved to perceive sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like, including our emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. Let's practice. One moment, I wish to check my root text, which sounds vaguely obscene. Phenomena do not. All right, cool. Let's recite. Phenomena do not undermine the authentic condition of our Buddha nature. With each inhalation, our sympathetic nervous system helps us notice, vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, fleetingly. With each exhalation, our parasympathetic nervous system helps us to physically relax and mentally release. These two together stimulate our anterior cingulate gyrus, the seat of empathy. And so the ability to notice, release, and love are built in. They are factory installed. Therefore, it's safe to notice vulnerably. We can notice horrible people saying horrible things and striving to do horrible things without becoming hateful. We can feel whatever emotion comes up, including hate, without being controlled by hate, without having our choices or our utterances or our deeds dance like a puppet upon hate's string. Together. Which is liberation, because it self-liberates effortlessly, without action. There is no need for heroic endeavor. All we need to do is get out of our own way, and we can master the Buddha's Eightfold Path in as little as 7 days. Together, since self-originated wisdom is beyond contrived searching. So in other words, the wisdom of letting go. Since the self-originated wisdom of letting go is beyond contrived searching. In liberating itself, it also shows others the path of liberation. So, we don't need to bang on someone's door on Saturday morning and wake them up and preach to them the gospel of Buddha. We just need to be the centered, spontaneous, loving people that our dogs or our cats already think we are, especially when we feed them soft food. And the people who are ready to learn will be drawn to us. If we are ready to teach, we can teach them. If we're not ready to teach, we can hand them off to one who is. Phenomena do not undermine the authentic condition of our Buddha nature, which is liberation because it self-liberates effortlessly without action. So what is the authentic condition? Liberation. Doesn't mean we're magical. It doesn't mean we fart lightning bolts. Since this self-originated wisdom of letting go is beyond contrived searching. So the wisdom of letting go is as close as our next exhalation. We don't need a blessing. We don't need an empowerment. We don't need a secret handshake. We don't need to pay some oddly dressed fellow an exorbitant fee. We don't need to go to a 2-day seminar for $2,000. In liberating itself, it also shows others the path of liberation. Phenomena do not undermine the authentic condition of our Buddha nature, which is liberation because it self-liberates effortlessly without contrived action. Since this self-originated wisdom of letting go is beyond contrived searching, in liberating itself, it also shows others the path of liberation. Welcome aboard. Here's a quick review. Practicing the essence of mindfulness is as simple as silently and mentally reciting the verb noticing during each inhalation. Similarly, practicing the essence of meditation is as easy as silently and mentally reciting the verb relaxing during each exhalation. Play with these words, and like running a program on our computer or an app on our phone, our brains and our central nervous system cannot help but acquiesce. I need to check the root text for a moment. Oh, whoops, wrong page. Okay, let's try that again. Here we go. Fabulous. Woohoo! Here we go. Yippee-ki-yay. Okay, guys, if you just tuned in, welcome aboard. Here's the deal. What we're going to do is perform 4 recitations in 4 breaths. During each breath, we're going to physically relax as best we can. The great elements are like the Bhagavan archetype of enlightenment. As they would say on South Park 20 years ago. What? Here's what this means. Bhagavan literally means Lord. Figuratively, it refers to this. It refers to, oh, here's what I'll do. Rather than say it, I'll show it. Insert lewd joke there. Let's see, insert pictures, device. Let's go to pictures. Let's hit Buddhist yoga. Let's go over to Kuntu Zangpo. No, better to go to Dorje Sampa. Let's go to let's go to Yob. Let's go to Rupa. Here we go. So, quick like a buddy, I'm going to find the button that reads wrap text behind text, the old scroll-a-rooney. Okay, hopefully this will work. Let's see if it fits on the page thusly. It does. Cowabunga. Okay, so when we say Lord, that's a reference to not Ati Yoga, but Maha Yoga. And here's how Maha Yoga is supposed to work. It's supposed to be a series of similes that work thusly, that are grounded in the 4 bases of mindfulness. The mental, the interpersonal, the physical, and the circumstantial. Here's how it would work. It would work, we would say that as we breathe in, our mind could seem quite solid and unchanging. But as we relax into our exhalation, our mind could feel as if it was as non-graspable as a Buddha's real or imagined mind, symbolized by a teeny tiny syllable comprised only of light. We would continue thusly. The things we say and the things we hear could sound beautiful or horrendous, blissful or painful. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, that same communication, that same experience of the interpersonal could feel as if it was as non-graspable as a Buddha's speech symbolized by a mantra comprised only of light. You see a pattern here? And we would say our bodies of flesh, blood, and bone, that as we breathe in, they could feel profoundly sensual. Cue the 70s porn music. Boom, chicka, bow, bow. So as we breathe in, they can feel profoundly sensual. Yet, as we relax into our exhalation, these exact same bodies could begin to feel as non-graspable as a real or imagined Buddha's body comprised only of light. Fourthly, we would say, as we breathe in, our circumstance could appear to us vividly, and that's appropriate. And yet, as we relax into our exhalation, that same circumstance could feel as if it was as non-graspable as a Buddha's real or imagined paradise comprised only of light. And so in Buddhist Tantra, we use the term Bhagavan not superstitiously to invoke the favors of real or imagined entities, but as a metaphor for what the South Indian Buddhist philosopher Nagarjuna referred to as the two truths, the conventional and the ultimate, that which we noted, our experience as we notice during our inhalation, and our experience as we relax during our exhalation. And so the inference is authentic mindfulness and meditation is the only deity, the only God we need if what we are seeking is the freedom of enlightenment. But wait, there's more. Not only does it have this weird foreign word Bhagavan, it also has the great elements. But remember, this was written a very long time ago, before we had our periodic table of elements. And so people thought of elements as a set of 4 elements or a set of 5 elements, and it was the same thing, that as we breathed in, our wind element could feel dynamic, and as we breathed out, our wind element could feel non-graspable. And similarly, we could consider our earth element as being solid, yet non-graspable. Our water element as being fluid, yet non-graspable. Our fire element as being warm, yet non-graspable. Our space element as open, yet non-graspable. And so what we're being told is these bodies of flesh, blood, and bone, these bodies that produce halitosis and flatulence and all sorts of messy miracles, can teach us the essence of the path. So let us start from the top. The great elements are like the Bhagavan archetype of enlightenment that exists by nature in all beings. Every healthy human has experienced that sounds or resounding, that sights or let's do it this way. Every human has experienced that our energy is dynamic yet void. Every human has experienced that scents are fragrant yet void, that flavors are savory yet void, that sensations are sensual yet void, that sounds are resounding yet void, that appearances are vivid yet void. Let's continue. However wrongly it may be conceived, liberation originates from oneself and not elsewhere. In the early 70s, there was a group, I think it was called the Special Ingredients? I'm not sure. They had a song called Everybody Plays the Fool. It's profoundly accurate. Everybody has been a fool. Everybody has had a moment of villainy. Everybody's made an ass of themselves. Everybody's hurt someone else at least once in our lives. We've all made mistakes. We are all capable of misperceiving or misunderstanding. And yet, despite the profundity of our ineptitude, each of us can notice and relax and make a habit of it. The great elements are like the Bhagavan archetype of enlightenment that exists by nature in all beings. However wrongly it may be conceived, liberation originates from oneself and not elsewhere. Yes, some teachers may be hopeful. Some may be harmful. But you don't need a teacher. Some books are helpful. Many books are harmful. But you don't need a book. If you're alive and sentient, you could work this out yourself. The Buddha did. Lao Tzu did. Vajra did. Yongjia did. Forgive my pronunciation if you're a Han person. The great elements are like the Bhagavan archetype of enlightenment that exists by nature in all beings. However wrongly it may be conceived, liberation originates from oneself and not elsewhere. Welcome aboard. Allow me to remind you that every time we inhale, the sympathetic nervous system ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord has evolved to help us to notice in a very special way, to help us notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly, to help us notice all manner of things. The external and the internal, the physical and the mental, the pleasurable and the painful, the interesting and the boring, the glorious and the grotesque. No, Virginia, it's not our job to shove at some and reach for others. It is our job to notice and relax in harmony with each inhalation and exhalation that we spend in seated meditation. Let's practice. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 12 and 2/3 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's morning meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.